Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a very good defense. The Steelers are the least scored-on team in the league, and they'll be up against the Panthers offense that will need to rise to the occasion. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight, the stage is set for our final Thursday night game of the year between the Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Second down following the run. West again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's the way to get things started the first time you touch the football on the road. And you have to believe all week long, all they've talked about is, okay, going into a hostile environment. We're the visiting team. How do we take control of this ball game early? That's one way right there. No fear, guys. And if they had any, it's probably gone after that run.
Now an inside give. This is Fowler, the fullback. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Let's go.
Here on first down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Cook underneath to Davis. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Hurry up, here we go. No, check.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now Cook. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and then alert him a fresh set of downs. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Now let's go. Detraction now, Barney. All right, here we go.
They go again with Davis. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. 9 yards to go. It's third down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
He'll look to throw. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Carolina getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
This is West. Yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. Second down throw for Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Let's see, the defense might bring some added pressure as the offense is dealing with a 3rd and long. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Third and long for Bridgewater. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. Your first-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Darren Waller, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And 10, Bridgewater. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Bridgewater now on second down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Now it's Hoss. This is West. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. It's a 40-yard attempt from the left half. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Floyd, the man in motion left. They'll run with Davis. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Throwing, Cook. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And he will find his man on the outside. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Watching now, 40, 40. Here we go.
Now Cook. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
All right, now look at 56. Set. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Completes it over the middle to Floyd. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they showcase this. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the offense facing a 3rd and 6.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Wright's got it. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Try to lay one up deep. They got his man complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded at the 8. They juked him. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half, Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. Shreds the tackle, and he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Watch him now, Marty. Marty. All right, here we go.
Now the carry, it's Davis. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. No. Check. Patriot. Slam.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. Halfback sent in motion. They'll drop the throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. There he goes, left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Hill. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited on the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
2nd down following the run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Eifert, the man in motion.
No. Check. Patriot.
Play clock winding down. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Jacob Shum now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets it away. It's a high hanger. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think that they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Four down. Let's go. Tiger.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll throw again from their own end zone. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Bridgewater from his end zone on third down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And now out come the Steelers. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now Davis. Oh, he's got a little daylight as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Patriot! Now let's go!
Here's Davis now. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Try the right side here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Myers winds up yanking it. This is no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
They start on the ground with West. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Bridgewater now on second down. He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught at the 20. And he will finally be taken out of bounds.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
On the toss, there goes Wentz. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run again here with West. Oh, and now West lost the football. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you put something out there, you're giving yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, This offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
Leopard! Leopard! Now let's go! 3-19!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third down.
And that was a nice play by the defense. And it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the middle, the center, and the offensive guards. Formerly, they were just power players. Now they have to be light on their feet as well to keep up with the speed of the defensive players.
3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
Another pistol look here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain.
Lucky 56.
They come up in an offset eye.
Detroit!
Eifert, the man in motion. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. 3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Watch it now, Marty.
And a big tight end shifting around.
All right, now, look at me. Check 3, check 3.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it's sailed out at the 10-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Get ready. Two jet. Let's go. Way 90. Force. Safety creek.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now West. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll play action. Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Sure, that pass was incomplete. They made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
One back is Lacey. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. On third down, Bridgewater. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Let's go.
Desperation time. Fourth down, Bridgewater. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Steelers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Miami next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.